Welcome everybody to Scott Cooks. We are back in our PITBOSS smoker today. We're going to smoke these chicken leg quarters and something very cool. I'm also going to smoke a custom homemade macaroni and cheese. This is going to be pretty cool. Let's get it started. There's a lot of prep to this dish before it hits the smoker. We're going to coat these chicken leg quarters with some oil, and then we're going to rub in some seasoning. I bought this seasoning at our wonderful Mexican grocery store we have here in Arizona. I've tried this on chicken before. It's fantastic. And as we go along, I'll read off the ingredients in it to you. But let's get it started. So all we're going to need here is a pretty good sized bowl, like this, and a chicken leg quarter. Pop that guy in. I've got some olive oil here. A little dab will do it. And we're going to coat this both sides with the olive oil. Make sure it's fully coated. And get your seasoning on. Press it in, rub it in. Make sure you got a good coating here. Press it down, add a little more. All right, let's get the next chicken leg quarter in, and we're gonna do the same thing. Lots of olive oil, rub it all around. We're gonna let this olive oil drip off before it gets out in the smoker. But we need this to help the seasoning adhere, and it's also gonna give it a little protective coating, keep the juices in for us. I think we can do better than that. We're going to hit some more down on the bottom. All right, we are looking good there. I like that, a little more on the top. Perfect. And that's it. We're going to put a lid on this and pop it in the refrigerator for 1 hour. 1 hour. All right, I'll do my best to read this for you, but if I can't, there it is. So here we go. Salt, paprika, pepper, garlic, onion, oregano, celery seed, rosemary, dextrose, that's to keep it from clumping together, parsley, and other spices. I like that part. So they're going to list all of these spices, and then they just say other spices. I wonder what the other spices are. Something they don't want to tell me, but anyway, it is really good. I'm not sure if you guys can find this, but I just read you the ingredients. Just use those. For an upcoming step in another hour or so, you're going to need yourself something to go in that smoker. This is a 150-year-old cast iron pan. How do I know that? Because I know this was my dad's mother's. So yeah, my great-grandmother's. And this is passed down the family. I think this is a 10-incher. I just seasoned it with a fresh oil. That's why it's shiny. I cleaned it up and seasoned it. I don't use it that often. But we're going to make our macaroni and cheese in it and pop it out in the smoker later on. Preheat your smoker, whatever type you got. Get it up to 180 for 15 minutes. So we're gonna crank this one up, click the button, crank it up to 180, hit the button, pop the door for just a second. On these vertical ones, you need to pop the door when you start it. Just for a couple minutes till you see the smoke rolling, then you can shut the door on it. I got 2 racks already cleaned and set up in here. My leg quarters are going to go up here, and my cast iron pan with the mac and cheese is going to go right there. We need to just get a little bit of that oil off. Most of it should have already dripped down into the bottom of your bowl, as you can see. Just going to grab a couple paper towels here and a plate. A couple paper towels. I think I'll double them up. And there we go. And we're just going to lay these out for a couple seconds, let them finish draining out. Look at that. And so the bowl caught most of it. This paper towel is going to catch a little more of it. I don't want to knock the the spice off of it. So just going to sit here and let it drain for a minute. And once our smoker is up to temp, we're going to go ahead and pop these right on the rack. You can see we got to 180. We're going to go ahead and put these in on the rack now. All right, once I get my hands cleaned up, I'm gonna come back out and we're gonna put that probe in. I don't want to mess it with the probe with my hands all greasy like this. You might be asking, why don't I wear gloves? Well, I'd switch and swap things 100 different times. I would go through a box of gloves in about 3 days. With the thickest piece, this is a pretty thick piece right here. We'll go right in, shut the door, and I'll try to show you how to program the probe. I know it's flashing, so it's kind of annoying, but anyway, it's not flashing for me, it's flashing for you. So we got a little button here that says MPC. We push that, and you can see it right there, and you can see me changing the temperature. And whoops, I want 165. Where is it? There it is, and I push the button. We're only gonna do this for an hour, so go set you a timer somewhere for an hour. Look at this beautiful Arizona sky. And remember, 180, 1 hour. All right, guys, everything is going great. We are cranking. We're at 104 inside the chicken. We're 180 out here. It's time for our first temperature upgrade. We're going to 250. And we're gonna go to 250 for another hour. We are making our macaroni and cheese from scratch. Get your favorite elbow macaroni noodles. These came from a local Safeway. Way more than I need. You're gonna have to calculate how many noodles plus the cheeses and the milks and all that's gonna fit in your pan. Typically we would go with a pound, but I'm gonna go about a half a pound. Don't worry, I'm gonna give you all the ingredients in the description. Make sure you go there and check it out. And so if you can't follow my crazy cooking instructions here, it's in the description. In case you're wondering, this is very rough measurement, but 2 cups. I know this is volume versus liquid and all that, but around 2 cups of these noodles is about a half a pound. And I said about. It's close, don't worry. A little less, a little more, it's not gonna hurt anything. If you want a full pound, you're gonna need about 4 cups, or most boxes of macaroni you buy are a pound. All right, just remember that for this recipe, I'm doing a half of a pound of noodles. So everything I give you here is for a half a pound of noodles. In the description, I'm gonna write it out for you for a pound of noodles. So it will be twice as much of everything that I do here, because that way you can just do the easy math, cut it in half yourself, or just use it as a pound. Anyway, that is 4 tablespoons of butter. Let's zoom in a little bit. That's 4 tablespoons of butter. Let's light it up. We're gonna make a roux. If you've ever made mac and cheese, you know what I'm doing. I'm making a roux. To make a roux, you're gonna need a whisk. Make sure you got a whisk, or it's not gonna do too good for you. Next coming up is gonna be 2 tablespoons of flour, regular old flour, but we gotta get that melted a little more first. Sprinkle it. Work quickly to make the roux. You don't want your flour to burn. There it is. You see that? I'm going to keep melting that butter. That's what you're after right there. No lumps, no chunks, no dry stuff. That's a roux. Perfect. Let that thicken up for just a second. Half a tablespoon of mustard, yellow mustard. I'm not going to measure it. That's good. This is 1 cup of half and half. I'm going to heat back up a little bit on it. We want to bring this back to a boil. Keep stirring. Get everything incorporated. That roux is going to thicken things up as soon as we get it back to the boiling stage. 150-year-old pan cooks like a new one. In fact, I think it cooks better. Trust me, it is well seasoned. Alright, just so you can get ready, once we get this back to a simmer, we're doing 2 ounces of cream cheese. 2 ounces of cream cheese. Alright, I want to show you this now. We're starting to simmer, and look how thick that got. That is just perfect for what we're after. That is perfect. It's time to go ahead and drop that cream cheese in, and we're going to mix it around till everything is creamy. creamy, creamy. I love cream cheese. All right. And then we're just going to melt this cheese down. Look at that roux. Oh man, that is perfect. And we're just going to melt that cheese down. I'm going to drop the temp just a hair on this. Don't want to overcook it. Now the next part is up to you guys. How do you like your mac and cheese? Are you going to go a straight up cheddar? You want to do something different? Well, we're going to do something a little different, because we're just going to mix it up a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is not leave this pan. We're going to make sure this cream cheese is completely melted, because I don't want to walk away from it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. That is perfect. All right. Kill the heat for a second. So we're going to do something a little different with our cheese here. We are going to use some cheddar. So we need 1.5 cups of cheddar. So go ahead on in with 1.5 cups of your cheddar, or whatever cheese you're using. You're probably going to start with some cheddar like I am. We'll just let that melt a little bit. And I'm going to really spice it up, guys. Look at this. Quesadilla cheese. Oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to do 1.5 cups of this as well. Oh my gosh, that is really good. Okay, now we're going to let this blend together. Just crank back up again. Little temperature adjustment there. This cast iron stays really hot. Look at it, it's getting really gooey already. And that's how you make a macaroni and cheese right here. Oh yeah, we're doing the panko topping. Don't worry, we're going to do something a little different to it though. Something you might not have seen before, because we're customizing this all the way. Look at that gooiness. It's from the quesadilla one there. Lovely. All right, let's just let that melt. It's got your cheeses all nice and melty in there, and sizzly and bubbly. It's time for the pasta. Now we're not going to just dump it. You know this expands when you cook it, so we're going to go a little at a time until we get the proper amount, or what we think is the proper amount of noodles versus cheese. So a little at a time. And I think I'll get a different utensil out for this. Look at that cheese. Now remember, these noodles are slightly undercooked on purpose, because this is going to go out in our smoker for about an hour or so. And you're just going to have to figure out on your own smoker. I'm sure you've used your own smoker enough to know how long it takes for your temperatures to rise. So my chicken's about 135-ish right now, 30 degrees away. That's about an hour. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get some of that beautiful smoke flavor. Yeah, you know what, guys? I'm going to think that's pretty much it. These were very large noodles, and they sure did expand on me. I think that's probably enough noodle to cheese ratio right there. What do you think? You can add a little salt and pepper stuff to it if you want, but our panko is going to have some flavoring in it too, you'll see. Let's just go with a little of my favorite in the world. Nothing better than that. Tablespoon of butter in a bowl. We want to melt that. We're just going to use our microwave for that. And pretty much melted. All right, we're going to add a little flavor to our panko. So our panko is unflavored. Where does it say it? Somewhere on here it says regular. But anyway, this is panko breadcrumbs, no additional flavoring. But I have some cherry cola barbecue rub from Fire and Smoke. So we're going to add these together. So we're going to need about 1/2 cup of this and a little bit of the seasoning. We're going to mix that all together and sprinkle it over the top. 1/2 cup or so. Barbecue seasoning, whatever flavor you're going to use, you be your own judge on how much you want to put in there. We're just trying to get a little flavor to the top of this. Grab a spoon and go ahead and get all that panko mixed with the butter until it's completely chunky. You know what you're looking for. Something that looks like that. what we're going to do, now that we've mixed it, we're going to go ahead and hit it with just a tiny bit more. And sprinkle the best we can. We'll probably have to spread it around a little bit. And this will toast up nicely in the smoker. Everything here is going to absorb some of that smoke flavoring from the pellets. You guys decide what pellets you want to use. Obviously cherry works good, apple works good. I have a mixture because that was already in the smoker when I started. So and that's it. That is our topping. Hey, don't forget guys, you're using cast iron or something like that, you better glove up. This ain't the modern type of things. So we're gonna have to do a couple little things in here real quick. We don't, woo, buddy, that looks good. Can you see that? First thing I wanna do is I'm gonna move my chicken, since the probe's on this side, I'm gonna move both of my chickens over here. And that way the grease is not dripping directly into this, which we're gonna put right there. Close her up, lock it down, and let's check our temps. We are looking good. All right, what we're gonna do, now everybody's smoker is different. I can't tell you what to do. I'm bringing the temp back to 180 because the chicken is almost ready internally. And we're gonna give this about an hour and just let it sit out here and slow cook and smoke up those noodles. All right, quick update for you. The chicken has been sitting at 165 internal temperature for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So I went ahead and pulled the chicken, put it on a platter, set it over to the side to rest. Cranked up the smoker to 350 degrees. Yeah, you heard me, 350 degrees. So we can get that macaroni cheese in there good and smoky and finish it up. Just let it bubble along. Remember, those noodles were cooked al dente. We want to cook the noodles just a little more so they're a little softer. And that's it. So I'll let that sit in there for another 15-20 minutes, and then we're going to pull everything out, plate it, and that's when I'll see you back. Well, here we go. Smoked chicken leg quarters and smoked homemade macaroni and cheese. Boy, if you could smell this, you would probably be drooling right now. Let's cut into that chicken, see how we're doing. Well, I can already tell you it's tender. It's just falling off of there. Juicy. Juice is running clear. Perfect white meat. Got a little bark on it from the smoker. Let's give that a try. Pretty hot. You can see the steam coming off of it. Oh my God. It practically melted. It's so hot. I had a little trouble chewing it. But that is amazing. All of the flavors came through on that. Fantastic. Now, smoked macaroni. This is a first for me. Made a lot of macaroni, but I never put it in the smoker. Oh, I can tell it. I can taste the smoke. It's subtle, but it's there. And obviously I can taste all the cheeses and all the goodness that I put in it. One more time. Yeah, very good. When I pulled that cast iron pan out of the smoker, it was bubbling. It was bubbling, and I'm talking about heavy smoke. I don't usually go to 350. Make sure you read your own directions on your own smoker about those temperatures. That temperature is hot. It could catch things on fire down inside, so be careful. Make sure you can do it. If you can't do it, just smoke it longer. Easy. A little hotter, a little longer. That's it. Thanks for watching. That was a great one. I can't wait to sit down and devour this meal. We'll probably have some kind of veggies on the side to go with it. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell for notifications. Leave me some comments. Click the bell. What else do I got to say? And subscribe to the channel. You want to help the channel out. We've got some memberships now. You get a little exclusive content. You get videos that come out before anyone else can see them. And when we get enough members, you know, a few members more, we'll start going live for the members only. And then we can just talk, cook and talk. That's going to be fun. See you soon.